The Democrat strategy of going high instead of hitting below the belt seems to have lasted about half a second. Despite Michelle Obama's call for liberals to take the high road, they seem to be sinking further down into desperation lately. And the latest example comes directly from Hillary Clinton. On Friday, the losing presidential candidate turned the sanctimony all the way to 11 by implying that if Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh is confirmed, the United States will be catapulted back in time to the era of slavery and no electricity. "I used to worry that they wanted to turn the clock back to the 1950s, Clinton ominously warned, as if the I Love Lucy era was somehow a dystopian nightmare. "Now, I worry they want to turn it back to the 1850s, she continued. According to the Daily Caller, the fear-mongering didn't stop there. "These will be urgent fights," she said. "Stakes could not be higher." It's almost like she thinks President Donald Trump's court nominee is some sort of, well, Democrat. After all, it was Democrats who were on the side of slave owners in the 1850s. The election of a Republican president in November 1860 is what pushed slave-owning states to panic and secede from the Union. His name, of course, was Abraham Lincoln. Remember, the main reason Clinton is so fearful is that Kavanaugh has pledged to respect the Constitution as written. The horror: hide the women and children. This nomination holds out the threat of devastating consequences for workers' rights, civil rights, LGBT rights, women's rights, including those to make our own health care decision, she said. Constitutional rights didn't seem to be on Clinton's list of concerns. The former Secretary of State's bizarre warning about the country being set back 168 years by one Supreme Court justice was eerily similar to past hand-wringing from her party. Back in 2012, then Vice President Joe Biden grimly warned a mostly African-American audience that Republicans wanted to put you all back in chains, an obvious allusion to slavery. Even the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People doubled down on Clinton's recent statement, implying that a conservative justice would set back over a century of racial progress. 150 years after its passage, our nation still struggles to realize the promise of equality under the 14th Amendment, the NAACP said in a statement. The next appointment to the Supreme Court is pivotal to that struggle. Again, they seem historically clueless. It was Democrats who largely opposed key civil rights legislation, while Republicans led the charge to treat Black Americans as equals. If this latest attempt to demonize conservatives is anything like Clinton's efforts to scold and shame people into voting for her in 2016, it will fall flat on its face. The American people are tired of this divisive rhetoric and can see right through the lame tactics. One look at the rising number of African Americans who are rejecting liberalism and taking a second look at conservatism should tell the whole story. It just doesn't work anymore. Hillary,